Hello, everybody. My name is Paul Mannino. I'm the family pastor of Family Ministry to Families. That's actually my title at Grace Evangelical Covenant Church in Kutztown, Pennsylvania. Uh, Technically, I'm not yet. I get hired on April 15th, but so this is in some ways an amalgamation of what I know already currently exists there and me putting words to the responsibilities and how I'm going to go about championing families at Grace Church. So, at the risk of being redundant, I just do better when I'm reading, and so I'm reading. So here we go. At Grace Church, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel on how to effectively minister to families. We are strategic about strengthening the family through taking advantage of the great thinking that goes along with being a part of the Orange community. That being said, from the womb to college and even beyond in marriage, we're thinking strategically about how to foster an everyday faith in our families. At Grace, our primary avenue to strengthen families is through strengthening marriages. Heard it said before that the best gift that you can give to your kids is a healthy marriage, and I think that's true. Married People provides the backdrop for fleshing out four core habits of a great marriage. One, having serious fun. Two, respecting and loving one another. Three, loving God first. And four, practicing that promise. We create opportunities for couples to lean into their marriage and enjoy it, learn about the interplay between love and respect, grow deeper in love with God, and know and experience a lasting commitment. We have larger groups in which married couples come to be inspired. We have small groups that empower couples to be in community and to grow in community. And we provide individual couples with intentional date night scripts that strengthen their marriage. Each quarter, there's a rotation from large group to small group to individual, and it's wrapped around one of those four core components. Pastor Adam and I will also we're going to address marriage issues from the pulpit on Sunday mornings to a broader audience. So marriage is really part of the conversation. We know that doesn't really cover everything, but we feel that it is the most intentional way to make sure that we're addressing the important issues that apply to all marriages. Oftentimes, churches really just spend most of their energies, if they're honest about marriage, with pre-marriage, premarital counseling, and then marriages in crisis. And although those things are both very important, we feel like when we're painting with a broad stroke, these four things that apply to every single marriage, this proactive approach gets the conversation going and strengthens marriages and really elevates marriage in the vernacular of Grace Church. So that's the marriage side of it. Then we start going through the process. When families are thinking about growing and having a baby, we're intentional about the baby dedication process. One of the things that I'm going to be bringing is this particular thing. Since most parents have high hopes for their children when they're anticipating their arrival into the world, we leverage that time as a time to get parents thinking about their kids' future and their parenting priorities. In Baby D, which is what it's called, parents are called to widen the circle, imagine the end, and make it personal in their parenting. This is how that's accomplished. Parents consult with me, the family pastor, to discuss baby dedication. I got a baby. I got a little child. I want to dedicate them. As part of that process, they're given resources. There's access to audio files. There's some written documents. There's even some homework assignments. And that helps the parents to realize first session, they need to realize that they need to widen the circle. It helps them to know that they have to allow the faith community to come in and help, that they're not in this on their own. And it might be very scary to have a child, especially for first time, but the church is here to help in that process. And so widening the circle really is introduced at that early age. Also, the idea of imagining the end. We want, and we actually have kids do a process, or we have the parents do a process. This is mine for my own child, where basically we're trying to think about what we want our child to be like when they're 18 years old. And so I wrote out my desires for my daughter Evie, and I did this in my own church. And it's just an idea that helps parents to think beyond. I want them to have a strong arm and be able to throw a nice curveball. It goes beyond that. So imagine the end. And then finally, there's an activity where it's about making it personal. This is the one that my wife and I did when we also dedicated our child. And it really helps us to realize that if that stuff is going to happen and our kid is going to grow in that way, what need to be the normal things that happen in our home for them to grow up believing that things like prayer, reading the Bible is normal, forgiveness is normal, confession is normal. And so that's all in there too. So this is a pretty heady thing to do at a stage where a lot of times it's just about finding the cutest picture, throwing it up on the church screen, and everybody putting their hands up. And so this takes it a little bit further. Once they're done with that, then we've been successful because we think that we've communicated that they know the church is on their side. They know that it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day activity and to forget what parenting is really for. And we know that they're going to have an opportunity to realize that their kids' faith is going to be most shaped by the way that they live out their life in the home. Live out their faith in the home. And so once parents do that, then yeah, we do have the big thing in church with the picture on the big screen and everybody raise their hand. But it's been leveraged this time of just maximum moldability. We try and take advantage of that. I'm going to go through how we go about the various ages and stages of family ministry. So bear with me. Our preschool ministry is designed to help parents and children for the unique stage of life that they're in. We've really simplified the truths that we want to get through to children during this time. We want our kids to know that God made them, God loved them, and Jesus wants to be their friend forever. God made me, Jesus loves me, or God loves me, and Jesus wants to be my friend forever. That means that we're going to focus how we communicate with our children. We take advantage of Orange's resources across the board. For preschool, it's called First Look. It's really a first look at God and how awesome He is. And they're not just activities and videos for the kid. What makes this not just a curriculum is that it's a strategy. It's designed to continue the conversation and interaction throughout the week in the home. We make it super easy. For one, parents can download a free Parent Cue app on their smartphone where all the information from that week, including the video, is available. For example, I watch this all the time with my daughter. Parent Cue app, boom, it's got everything you want, including the video from last week. So if you want to watch what your kid is learning and you want to watch it at home with a preschooler, I don't know if you've ever had one, I've watched Dumbo 700 times. I mean, kids want to watch the same thing over and over. Why not expose them to that same biblical truth over and over? So the Parent Cue app is huge. It also has things that parents can do to create a rhythm in the home. It's all about centering on developing an everyday faith. We leverage the everyday rhythms of life for a preschooler, which we think are drive time. Kids get in the car. Cuddle time, that time at the end of the night where it's like tragedy because it's bedtime and we have to put them down. Bath time and playtime. The idea is we take those things and we create a rhythm in the home. We create activities that go along with those times, and parents can get those activities and prayers and things to do either through the app, through weekly email, through a paper we hand out, or even through a laminated custom table placemat. We're just trying to saturate preschool parents with these ideas because we want them to share. It's a lot more meaningful than knowing all the different characters on Doc McStuffins. So yeah, we do all that. We also provide devotionals and resources that inspire preschool parents to just continue engage in the process. Next up, elementary, and it's similar. We're building upon the foundation that was laid in preschool, but we also know that not every kid knows the three truths that we taught in preschool, and so we're always talking about how God loves them, God made them, and Jesus wants to be their friend forever. We constantly present the gospel. We just increase what it looks like. But in elementary school, we're all about taking that faith, that wonder at God, and we want to make it personal. And so the aim of the elementary curriculum, which is 252 Basics, is to help children and parents see what an everyday faith looks like fleshed out in a personal life. We highlight 36 life apps. These are life applications or character qualities that demonstrate to students how a faith relationship with Jesus looks. That could be anything from patience, creativity, honesty. and there's 33 more. Again, our curriculum towards kids is creative and it's genius. It's cool stuff, and it's not stuff that I created. I just buy it. But it's really the parent-word aspect of the curriculum that takes it from being a curriculum to a strategy. We use the same resources that the preschool uses, including there is a Parent Cue app for elementary. You can see a video each week of what the kids are learning. But we also offer, instead of the placemat, which is what we do for preschoolers, we offer a monthly widget. Widget's basically like a Happy Meal toy, for lack of a better term. And what it is it's something that's related to the virtue or the app of the month. And when a parent sees their child exhibiting that quality, that character quality, they give it to them. And then once they have it, the app itself or the widget reminds them. It reminds them of that character quality. It's just a way to continue the conversation at home. Again, we could buy random stuff from the dollar section at Target that has nothing to do with anything, or we could continue the conversation at home. And so we're really trying to create a rhythm for elementary kids, and the heat has turned up because they're capable of more. The rhythm is different, but they're capable of more now. Drive time still exists. Now meal time, it can be more than just trying to keep the SpaghettiOs off the floor. Bedtime now, there is a greater expectation of what can be done. And really that hangout time, there's stuff too. And so in preschool and elementary, but increasingly in elementary, we also are working on widening that circle, that concept that we talked about in Baby D. We're doing that with our preschool kids and our elementary kids, and really all the way up, by having a small group and a small group leader who's an other caring adult who invests consistently in the life of the kid. And so those small group leaders there become a bridge between church and the family, and it's a great opportunity to really see how your kid is developing within a group at church, and they become a great encouragement to them. So the leader invests in the kid and he creates a bridge. I just said that. Okay, next is the student ministry. Student ministry builds upon the foundation, again, of what's already been established in the lower levels. But again, I've worked with high school students for 20 years, and I know that a lot of them don't know that God made them. A lot of them don't know that God loves them. And a lot of them don't know that Jesus wants to be their friend forever. And so we have to show them what that looks like. We have to help them understand the importance of honesty or the importance of patience. We have to take what's been built upon, but we really have to remediate constantly, because it's really about ownership at this point. It's not about dictating to students this is what you need to believe. It's helping them understand why believing this is what will bring them abundant life that Jesus promises. But the big thing about student ministry, the next shift, is that it takes it from being wonder about God, personal application. Now I'm going to take my faith and I'm going to demonstrate it in my life to others. And so the Curriculum XP3 Students hits on all the previous issues, but it also pushes further outward to a more missional mindset. Game changes. In student ministries, the game totally changes. We know that. 12-year-old girls. I have a 3-year-old. I've heard that 3-year-olds are very similar to 12-year-olds. But the game changes. The rhythms are completely upset in the home. Things get nuts. You're taking kids to practices. There's late nights of studying. They want to hang out with their friends. They don't want to hang out with you anymore. They don't want to cuddle. You'd be lucky if you get a couple nights home. And so that creating a rhythm, hopefully some of that stuff is maintained from what's already been established. But man, if it hadn't been established at that point, and even if it has, it probably gets wrecked. The big thing that comes to the forefront during this time, though, is fighting for the heart. Fighting for the heart is the big deal for teenage parents, parents of teenagers. Hormones are out. Burgeoning independence is now in the center, and that's the name of the game. So parents, we need to resource them with inspiration and community to help them stay in the game and help them realize that, man, my 14-year-old son is crazy, but it's worth it to stay in the game. And so we create those conversation pieces because we want them to continually fight for the heart. We have parent meetings with parents of youth, where they can talk to each other. It's almost like, I guess, grief counseling, but encouragement too, because parents during this time, more than anything, need to not lose heart, not give up. Because you take out this stuff and you see what you want your kid to be, what you wanted them to be when they were just in the womb or a toddler. And then you look and you say, man, my kid is far off from that. Yeah, but it's worth it to stay in the game, because the game's not over and God's writing a story in your kid's heart. So those inspirations, they come through conversation with a small group leader, they come through community, they come through social media. And here's the time where the parent is also encouraged to share in what their teen is teaching, or what their teen is learning. I'm just found something. Let me type that. What their teen is learning by making it personal. Say there's a series about authority. The best way to talk with a teenager about authority is as an adult, talking about how hard it is for even you to respect authority. Maybe areas where you've struggled in your life. By sharing that and making it personal, kids can see a multidimensional faith, and they can see that it's normal. And so we want to resource parents with those sorts of conversation starters, because making it personal during that time is huge. They are more prone to own their faith if they experience it. Students are. And so we try and provide with every series in youth ministry a opportunity for students to do something big, some big experience where they're gonna see their faith happening. Next up, most churches graduate their seniors and then they think, okay, cool, work is done. But that's not the way it is at Grace. At Grace, we're going to try to continue the conversation. We know that it's important for college-age students to not feel abandoned, and that they too want to flesh out their faith during a time when their presuppositions are being challenged in a college classroom, or even just, the school of life. And that's why at Grace, along with our college student gathering where they can have community, we also resource students with mentors within the church body, someone that they can get together with, get free food, which is a big draw, and wrestle with biblical issues from the XP3 college curriculum on their own terms. Another huge part of this time, really this permeates all the way down to junior helpers and elementary school, is we need to help find young leaders, find a place of service within the church where their faith can grow. So that's it. Marriage, pregnancy, preschool, elementary, youth, college. I'm really looking forward to exploring the implications that this could have for singles in the church. But I definitely think that singles can be a huge part of being that widened circle for families by being small group leaders. Also, I'm looking at how grandparents can step into this role as well, because I think a lot of times grandparents step in the gap, stand in the gap as reinforcement for the parents. And how great would it be if grandparents, did more than just spoil, but actually, invested. And so at Grace, we're taking this ministry to the community, whether it's providing for a vacation Bible school. That's not just the normal drop-off thing, but actually a thing where we're really going to try and reinforce the relationship between the church and the parents, really trying to have that established rhythm in the home, or a Christmas event that's just really creative about communicating our values. We're going to go out. We're going to go out to the campuses of local high schools and just build relationships with kids on their own terms. We're going to go to Kutztown University, and we're going to do the same thing there. We feel that by tapping into creativity, tapping into this excellent stuff, and that the natural seeds and desires of the natural needs and desires of the various stages of life, we're going to catch a lot of people who would otherwise not be interested in a church family discipleship program. And so we're taking it out there. And we think by word of mouth, that's how people are going to want to be a part of this. We want to be known as a church that cares about family. We want to be known as a church that cares about marriage. And so thank you for your patience. My goodness, that took 20 minutes. I don't know how long the video is supposed to be, but thanks.